Good afternoon and welcome to Pakistan Today News from our London studio. I'm Chris Taylor. The United States' military operations against Iran are rapidly costing billions of dollars, according to reports shared with the U.S. Congress. Officials say the first week of the conflict alone has already cost nearly $6 billion. Around $4 billion of that amount has reportedly been spent on munitions and missile interceptors used during the operation. Analysts warn that if the conflict continues at the same pace, the overall cost could exceed $10 billion within just 10 days. Experts say the figures highlight the financial strain of modern warfare, particularly the heavy reliance on expensive precision weapons and advanced defense systems. Meanwhile, reports also indicate that around 140 U.S. service members have been wounded during the early phase of the operation, raising further concern about the growing human and financial toll of the conflict. Turning now to diplomatic developments, Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar has spoken with Kuwait's Foreign Minister Sheikh Jarrah Jaber Al Ahmad Al Sabah to discuss the evolving regional situation. According to Pakistan's Foreign Office, both leaders expressed deep concern over recent developments in the region, including reported attacks targeting Kuwait. During the conversation, Ishaq Dar conveyed Pakistan's solidarity with the leadership and people of Kuwait. He also emphasized the urgent need for dialogue and de-escalation in order to ensure peace and stability across the wider region. For more on this diplomatic development, we go now to Sarah William in Islamabad.
Thank you, Chris. Officials in Islamabad say the phone call between the two foreign ministers reflects Pakistan's growing diplomatic engagement as tensions escalate across the Middle East. The Foreign Office says Pakistan is closely monitoring the situation and remains concerned about any developments that could destabilize the wider region. Sources here indicate that Islamabad is encouraging dialogue among regional partners and urging restraint from all sides. Analysts also say Pakistan is positioning itself diplomatically to support peace initiatives while maintaining close coordination with Gulf allies.
Sarah William reporting from Islamabad. Thank you for that update. Meanwhile, Qatar's armed forces say they have successfully intercepted a new missile attack targeting the country. According to Qatar's Ministry of Defense, the missile was detected and neutralized by the country's defense systems before it could cause damage. Authorities later confirmed that the immediate security threat had been eliminated and that the situation has returned to normal. Reports by Al Jazeera say Qatari officials reassured residents that defense forces remain fully alert and prepared to protect the country amid rising regional tensions. In other developments, the head of the Catholic Church, Pope Leo, has expressed profound sorrow over the victims of recent bombings across the Middle East. According to Vatican News, the Pope said many of those killed were innocent civilians, including children. He also mentioned Father Pierre El Rahi, a Maronite priest who was killed in an Israeli attack in the Lebanese town of Klaya. The Pope prayed that hostilities would end as soon as possible and called on the international community to work toward lasting peace in the region. Meanwhile, Lebanon's state media reports that an Israeli airstrike has hit an apartment building in central Beirut. The country's national news agency says the strike targeted a residential apartment in the Aisha Bakr area. This marks the second attack on the heart of the Lebanese capital since the latest phase of fighting between Hezbollah and Israel intensified. Authorities say they are currently assessing the situation as regional tensions continue to rise. Inside Iran, the country's national police chief Ahmad Reza Radan has issued a warning to protesters supporting what authorities describe as the country's enemies. Speaking in remarks aired by the state broadcaster Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting, Radan said such individuals will no longer be treated simply as protesters, but will instead be considered hostile elements. He added that Iranian security forces are fully prepared and ready to defend the revolution. The statement comes as tensions remain high and protests continue to grow in parts of the country. Finally, an Iranian women's football team member who had previously sought asylum in Australia has now changed her decision. According to Australia's Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke, the player reconsidered after speaking with teammates who had earlier left the squad. Reports say 7 members of the visiting Iranian women's national football team had initially requested asylum after being labeled traitors back home following a pre-match protest. Authorities confirmed that each player was separated at Sydney Airport and given time to privately consider their asylum options before making individual decisions. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today News. I'm Chris Taylor.